From an abandoned island that is off limits to the public and is now home to thousands of venomous snakes, to the secret Vatican archives that hold the mysteries of the Catholic Church. In this video, we take a look at 10 secret places you're not allowed to visit. Number 10. Heard Islands, Australia. Despite being part of Australia, Heard Islands are actually one of the most remote places in the world, located almost 2,500 miles off the Australian coast. The islands were discovered in the mid-19th century and have been in Australian territory since 1947. They contain the country's two only active volcanoes. The summit of one, Mawson Peak, is higher than any mountain on the Australian mainland. There is a reason these islands are on this list. The Australian government has made it illegal for anyone without permission to visit the islands. They have forbidden people from visiting the islands because they want to preserve the unique ecosystem that has developed here. The islands are home to plant and animal species that can be found nowhere else on Earth, and the Australian government are keen to make sure we humans don't start destroying that ecosystem anytime soon. Number 9. Izigrande Shrine, Japan. There is a temple shrine in Japan that only members of the imperial family can enter. Izigrande Shrine was built for the goddess of the sun and universe. Every 20 years, the interior of this ancient shrine is rebuilt by craftsmen. This is done to symbolize the passage of life and death and to reflect rebirth. During the following 20 years, only members of Japan's imperial family are permitted entrance to this holy temple. Then, after 20 years, the interior is torn down and rebuilt again, continuing the long-established tradition. The only way you will be allowed to visit this shrine is if somehow you manage to marry one of the members of Japan's imperial family. Number 8. Coca-Cola Vault, United States. There is a reason why Coca-Cola is one of the most successful drinks brands in the world. Their secret recipe is one of the keys to their global success. And that secret recipe has been hidden away inside a vault in Atlanta, Georgia for over 125 years. Almost no one is allowed inside the vault. It's reported that even the highest-ranking executives at Coca-Cola aren't even allowed inside, let alone near the secret recipe. Visitors can take tours around the Coca-Cola Museum, learning about Coke's history, and they can even see the vault doors. But absolutely nobody is ever allowed inside. Number 7. Snake Island, Brazil. Located around 100 miles off Sao Paulo on the Brazilian coast, Snake Island is home to one of the world's most deadly snakes. Known as the golden lancehead viper, this pale yellowish-brown coloured snake can be found nowhere else on Earth. Thousands of years ago, as sea levels rose, this island was cut off from the mainland. The golden lancehead's ancestors were used to hunting ground prey, but on this newly cut off piece of land, there wasn't really any. So these snakes had to resort to hunting birds. The only problem was that the venom the snakes carried at the time took hours, if not days, to act. By the time the venom had killed the bird, it had already flown away, leaving the snake without a meal. So over time, these snakes began to evolve, developing an almost instant-acting venom that would rapidly kill the birds they now hunted. On this newly formed island, the snakes had no predators, which meant their numbers ballooned. As of today, Snake Island has the highest concentration of venomous snakes anywhere in the world. It's estimated that there are 5 snakes for every 10 square feet of landmass on the island. A lighthouse was erected on the island in the early 1900s, but both the lighthouse keeper and his daughter tragically died. Ever since then, people have been forbidden from visiting the island. The real question is, why would anyone want to go to an island that is home to thousands of truly deadly snakes that could kill you within seconds? Number 6. Camp Peary, United States. Camp Peary is an approximately 9,000-acre U.S. military reservation in York County near Williamsburg, Virginia, United States. It is officially under the authority and run by the Department of Defense, and is referred to as an Armed Forces Experimental Training Activity Center. Very little is known about what goes on at this huge military reservation. It has never been open to the public, and the government often avoids or flat out refuses to answer questions about it. One thing we definitely know is that Camp Peary hosts a covert CIA training facility known as the Farm. This is used to train not just the CIA's most high-ranking agents, but also many of the other United States government intelligence officers. What kind of experimental training goes on here is beyond a mystery, and we most likely will never find out the exact details. Number 5. Svalbard, Seed Vault, Norway. Carved 500 feet into the side of an ice mountain on Norway's northernmost island Svalbard, there is a vault designed to hold 4.5 million types of seeds, with at least 500 seeds of each variety. The vault was designed to hold a backup population of seeds in the event of a disaster in the seed's natural ecosystem. Others believe that the vault isn't solely designed just to keep backup seeds for small local disasters, but to keep backups that could be used to rewild the earth in the event of a huge natural or artificial disaster. Very few people are allowed to visit the seed vault. Not only is it located in a very remote place, but security is said to be very high in order to keep all the seeds safe. Number 4. Bohemian Grove, United States. The Bohemian Grove is a restricted 2,700-acre Californian redwood forest that is only accessible to its exclusive men-only club members. Every year for 2 weeks in mid-July, the Bohemian Grove hosts some of the most powerful and prominent men in the world. Former members include people like President Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, and George H.W. Bush. What actually goes on inside the Bohemian Grove is another matter. No member of the club has ever talked about what goes on inside publicly, but people have snuck in over the years. The stories those people tell range wildly. Some say it's just an expensive boys' club where you can let loose for a few weeks, getting drunk with your friends and participating in traditional events. Others, however, claim something more sinister is occurring. From all the video and photographs that have been leaked, there is definitely some very bizarre and almost creepy owl statues throughout the forest that members apparently worship. People claim that this secret society meets once a year to decide the fate of the world and how its exclusive members can make more money and seize more power. In recent times, security has been tightened, and no one has managed to successfully sneak into the Bohemian Grove for over 15 years now. Whatever does go on inside, they certainly don't want us knowing. Number 3. Area 51, United States. Everyone has heard of the secret US military base known as Area 51. But no one really knows what exactly goes on inside this facility in the Nevada desert, and the US military want to keep it that way. There are plenty of rumors, from aliens hiding inside, to amazing UFO spacecraft, to secret experimental weaponry. The allure and myth of Area 51 will most likely go on forever, but the chances of us ever actually finding out what exactly goes on inside there is pretty slim. The base is extremely heavily guarded, patrolled day and night and covered head to toe in sensors and cameras. No one is getting in here without permission. The mystery of this military base has created some truly wild theories and driven people to borderline madness. Number 2. North Sentinel Island, Indian Ocean. The North Sentinel Island has been inhabited for around 60,000 years by an ancient tribe of people that have had almost no contact with the outside world. These people have never ventured off their island, and the few people that have tried to land on the island's shore have sadly been killed. Because of this reason, the Indian government has decreed that nobody is legally allowed to visit the island. There are many reasons why the Indian government doesn't want anyone landing on this island's shores. For a start, the people have had no contact with modern humanity. That means they will have absolutely no immunity to the diseases and germs that we all have evolved to live with. Apparently, in the 1800s, some colonial researchers actually kidnapped several tribespeople from the island in order to study them, but within just a few weeks, all the tribespeople that they took died of a sickness. The tribe has also managed to survive for tens of thousands of years on their own. The Indian government knows that if they allow people to visit the island, the ancient untouched culture will most likely be destroyed by outsiders. What right do we have to take away these people's culture and way of life? Number 1. Vatican's Secret Archives. The Vatican's secret archives hold the Catholic Church's most precious and ancient documents. The contents of the archives are highly secret, and only the highest-ranking members of the Catholic Church are permitted access to the entirety of the archive vaults. All contents within the archives are officially owned by the Pope until his death or resignation, with ownership passing to successor. There are said to be over 50 miles of shelving, housing hundreds of thousands of documents, some dating over 1,200 years ago. It's claimed that there are ancient Bible texts that have been kept hidden from the public, secret documents detailing previous crimes committed by the Catholic Church throughout history, and many more historical artifacts the Church doesn't want made public. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought. Thank you very much for watching.